Yes.
We're recording.
Hello and welcome to the inaugural session of Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. We are anticipating to be chartered as a new club this week. I am Sally Reyes, your interim Sergeant at Arms. Please take out your phones and set them to silence. I meant set them to silence, yes. Please help me welcome our interim president of Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. She is the co-sponsor and Division D director. She is also general intuitive supporter and head cheerleader, the incomparable Cynthia Scott. Well, I screwed it up.
Thank you, Sally. I appreciate that introduction. And you're just warming up. It's our inaugural session. Very excited to have everybody here. First of all, I want to find out if we have any wonderful guests coming to our club this time. And if you are a guest, if you could change your name in the Zoom account, go to participants and rename yourself and put guest in front of your name so that we know that you are a guest. Do we have any guests? Linda, do you see anyone that's a guest?
No, I do not.
No. Okay, well, maybe we'll have some guests come in between. I'm the president of Leaders Worldwide, and as Sally said, we're anticipating to be chartered this week. So excited. We've been working so hard. I know Linda Patton has been working really hard getting your chartering documents together, and Michelle Peticolis has been working hard getting the application to Heart to Heart together. So that we can go smoothly. And it sounds like they have it at Toastmasters International. They're just processing, and we should have it within a couple of days. So excited. So I think that I'm finished. I'm just supposed to welcome the guest and then turn it over to Linda to talk to you about.
Nope. Lola.
Oh, goes to Lola. You don't talk about Zoom. Okay.
Not yet.
Lola Pratt is our Toastmaster. Let me turn it over to Lola. Woohoo! Are you muted, Lola?
I was muted. You forget about that, Mike. You just start talking. Good evening, everyone. And again, welcome to the Leaders Inauguration meeting. And I am very excited to be your Toastmaster this evening. And again, the theme of tonight's meeting, the inauguration, which we will be seeing pretty soon after tomorrow, huh? We'll be seeing a new inauguration. But with that said, I would now like to introduce Linda Patton to go into more of our leadership meeting. Linda, our
Okay.
master leader.
Thank you. Today was to bring to you a quote about leadership. Unfortunately, I wanted to pull one about inauguration, and there wasn't one that was handy. But I do have one from Cecil Beaton, who says, "Be daring, be different, be impractical, be anything that will assert integrity of purpose and imaginative vision against the play-it-safers, the creatures of the commonplace, the slaves of the ordinary."
Wow. Beautiful.
Wow.
And that's what this club is all about, is stepping out from the ordinary into the extraordinary. And I love the fact that we as a club will charter with, are you ready? 53 new or 53 members, 20 of which are brand new Toastmasters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Woo!
more than
So,
3 times the amount we needed.
so we are definitely a visionary club. And I love the fact that you all are here to be part of the inaugural meeting. And with that, I will turn it over to Lola.
Great. Thank you so much, Linda. And again, we appreciate all that you do
Thank you.
for
Lola.
us in these meetings. Prior to the meeting, we had an agenda change or two, and I think that that was more in line of the evaluators, correct?
I believe that's true. Yes.
Yes, and I think, and I believe we got that straight in terms of the evaluators. Evaluator number one is not Jan,
It is
Correct. It is
Isaac.
Isaac.
Isaac, and
And Jan.
evaluator number two would be Jan.
That is correct.
Correct.
Okay, everybody with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Great, great. And does everyone have the agenda? A copy of the agenda? Okay, you
It's
can pull
in
it,
their email if
It was
they're
pull it up in your email.
It was
Yeah.
in the original email that came out, not the confirmation email.
Exactly. Linda sent that email out earlier today. And just wanting to be sure that everyone can read the agenda and see the agenda and know that we will have a breakout for the different levels shortly, a little bit after our keynote. Is everybody in agreement with how we're
Yeah.
going to proceed? Great. Well, with that said, I am now going to introduce our general evaluator, and he will explain his role. And our general evaluator tonight is Jay. Jay, haven't seen you in a while.
Haven't seen you either then.
His full
Okay,
basement.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm in the garage today. I came to our apartments here in the city to install our dryer. It took a little longer than I anticipated, so I got stuck here for my meetings today. It's a little chilly, but I will be effective. I will be your general evaluator today. I'll be keeping tabs on the meeting and give a report on how it goes at the end. I will also be introducing our backseat people who will be keeping track of other parts of the meeting. We have a grammarian word of the day, and that's going to be presented by Sally Ray. Sally, will you explain your role and tell us what you will be doing?
A word of the day is commitment. Can you see that? And commitment is listed, the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity, or an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. So commitment seemed like an appropriate time that we worked so hard to get to this state right now of our
Yeah, I
inaugural
guess.
meeting.
Oh,
And we've all been dragging, pushing and pulling and learning new things. And I thought this was an appropriate word for this time. And I will be keeping track of the O's and ahs and flubs from everyone's committed time in each of their jobs. And I will give a report at the end. So thank you. I think that's it.
Thank you, Sally. And I think I already have one I caught myself in. As I was stumbling for words, I decided to use instead of a nice pause. Our other report or back end, you could count that, I guess, too. Back end person who will be keeping track of things for us today is going to be Rasana, and she will be our timer. Rasana, will you tell us what you will be doing for us today?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. My role as a timer today is to help the speakers maintain time. So I will be holding up the green, the red, and the yellow cards. And this timing depends on the length of the speech. For the 5 to 7 minute speeches, the green card will go up at 5, the yellow card will go up at 6, and the red card will go up at 7, and the speaker has 30 seconds to wrap up. And for the table topics, the green card will go up at 1 minute, the yellow card will go up at 1.5 minutes, and the red card will go up at 2 minutes. And for each speech, everyone has, the speaker has 30 seconds to wrap up. Thank you.
Thank you, Rasana. And it looks like here on the agenda, I'm supposed to remind everybody to keep a minute of silence after each speech. We will have 3 speakers. Does this count for the plenary speaker as well?
They're 15 minutes plus 5 minutes of Q&A. Do you have that, Rasana?
I do.
Okay.
Okay. So after each speech, we'll be doing some evaluating, and I don't know if that counts for the plenary speaker as well.
No, there's no evaluation,
Okay.
just Q.
Okay. So our 3 speakers today, please, after each speech, we'll have a minute of silence for evaluating. And with that, I'll turn the meeting back over to you, Madam Toastmaster, who is on mute.
Uh-oh.
Trying to practice good etiquette, but thank you so much for that, Jay. We were to turn it over to Linda, one of our master leaders, before I introduce our speaker. Linda, I think we're going to talk about, according to the agenda, breakout rooms, or?
No,
Okay.
that's after the break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So now I'm introducing
Diane,
and I'm so excited to do that. I could not wait. Hi, Diane.
Hello.
It is so good to see you, and so great to have you here. I got a chance to spend some time with Diane way back, and we have been connected ever since. But let me tell you how great she is. Diane Pless started her Toastmaster journey in 2009. She quickly became the VP of Education and chaired a speech craft. They had many responses, and they had to start a wait list because there were just so many people excited to be a part of the speech craft. Diane has been club president several times and served as area, division, and finally district director. Woohoo! Yes. Tonight she will talk about her journey to becoming distinguished district, one of only 13 districts in North America to receive the honor or higher. Diane is a distinguished Toastmaster living in the San Francisco Bay Area. She has an MBA and is a small business owner and has been president of advertising associations in Oakland, California, and
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
and Green Bay, Wisconsin. I had hesitated. I was like, Green Bay, where did that come from? I know her as a local lady, but again, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce Diane Pless, our past district director.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Yay.
Yay. Woo-hoo.
Thank you very much, Leaders Worldwide. It is a pleasure to be here. I've been looking at the chat and find it very interesting to see where everyone is from. I'm going to keep my screen up tonight so that hopefully I can see some of you and look for that reaction, because I think it's much more interesting that way to try to have a dialogue. Certainly there will be questions at the end. As we get started tonight, I would like you to think of an extension ladder, a 20-foot long extension ladder. The rungs are about every foot apart. There's, 20 inches wide. You place it against a building and you secure the feet. You start climbing. You place your foot on the first rung and it's pretty comfortable. You advance to the next rung and no problem. The aluminum feels cool. You keep on going. You're up about 4 feet and you take a minute to look around. You let out a breath and you climb a few more rungs. As you do, you notice your hands starting to get a little tighter on the step ladder. Things are getting a little more challenging, but you continue climbing. You haven't been this high before, so you concentrate on the things that you're familiar with. One foot in front of the other, one hand on top of each other, going up. A few more steps, and now you take a breath to compose yourself. You look around, you don't look down, but you look around and you see some friends coming. And you're about ready to continue going up, and you reach for that next rung, but you know what? It's missing. So you look for the rung above that, and that is missing too. So you wonder what is going on here. And the friends and the colleagues that stopped by and saw you climbing said, well, we can help with that. We should be able to boost you up. And you say, okay, let's give it a try. So they come up the ladder and they manage to give you this boost so that you can reach that rung and shimmy up and get your foot on that next rung, and you get to the top of the ladder with that teamwork and people that have helped. Of course, this isn't any normal ladder or extension ladder. This is an analogy for a Toastmaster ladder. You might think of it as a District 57 Toastmasters ladder because it's reflective of the journey that I had as district director. Starting in Toastmasters and with this new club is a chance to learn. I'll be talking about my journey and also giving you a little background on the structure of Toastmasters. You're in a club. Several clubs make up an area. Several areas make up a division. Divisions help to make up a district, and you are in District 57. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the backstory and those 2 missing rungs. As Lola mentioned, I had come up through the ranks, if you will, served in the club and then served in the district as district officer. Plus, I chaired some roles. I chaired a club contest and speechcraft and was a club coach. I found that helping out in Toastmasters was something that I liked. I loved the people I met, and everyone was so nice. I mean, who doesn't like meeting new Toastmasters? In the spring of 2018, an unusual thing happened in our district. The person who was supposed to move up to become district director had a health concern and could not continue on. And there are 3 main members that govern, if you will, the district. Another trio member could not continue because she was moving out of state. That left one person who was the program quality director. And again, I'm hoping you'll get familiar with some of these terms. That person had been appointed midterm and wanted to stay in that position, did not feel ready to move up. The district needed leadership. Basically, they were missing 2 rungs. They had 2 positions that were open. They encouraged me as well as others to run. I accepted the challenge and ran a campaign. I was allotted a 2-minute speech at the district conference and was elected. Fortunately, the 2 other people who were elected for those trio positions are just incredible, outstanding, dedicated, knowledgeable Toastmasters that I loved working with, and it made all the difference. Although I had been successful as a business owner and in my role as a franchise business consultant, I had never worked with approximately the 140 clubs that are in our district, or the approximate 2,300 members. So this was going to be a challenge. I came in humbly. The great thing about Toastmasters, and I heard my is we recognize our ahs, but we learn from them. I recognized that I needed help. I was not afraid to ask for it either. We got busy. We wanted to grow the district. We focused on a theme, and we had 3 short words. They were fun, growth, and recognition. We felt if we did that, our members would have a great Toastmasters experience. Our clubs would be vibrant and grow, and we could indeed make a difference, just like your club is doing. We also came up with a word for that year, and our word was epic. We used it as much as we could. We weren't satisfied with that. We not only wanted to have an epic year, we wanted to have an epic run, which meant that we would be stronger and better than ever. It meant that we would have more people in line that could continue what we were doing. Now, Toastmasters International clearly spells out what a district needs to do to be distinguished, and distinguished is a goal within Toastmasters, just as clubs like to be distinguished, which means you have met certain criteria. In the district, they have 3 criteria. 1 is paid clubs, 2 is member payments, and 3 is you need to have a certain number of distinguished clubs. You have to hit all 3 to become distinguished. If you do great in 2 areas, well, that's nice, but it doesn't count. You have to achieve all 3 goals to be distinguished. Why did we want to be distinguished so badly? Well, it would mean that our district was thriving. It would mean that our members were learning, they were growing. It would mean that we'd be adding new clubs. And when you have that, it is just fun and exciting. I hope you've seen that as chartering a new club. Of course, it would also mean that our revenue is growing. As you know from the introduction, we hit our goal, but what did we learn from it? What lessons did we take away? There, of course, are 3 lessons. In Toastmasters, we tend to think in terms of triads, so that's what I'm doing tonight. The 3 key lessons were: 1, to ask for help and make it fun; 2, to dream big; and 3, to start early and plan for contingencies. Those things probably sound familiar. First, don't ever be afraid to ask for help, especially in Toastmasters. We're a very friendly group. You can always ask, can you help? How are people going to do that? They're looking for new leadership opportunities. People are looking to flex their wings, try their hand at something new. But it has to help them. So what's in it for the member? Is it something that they could add to their resume? Could they put it on LinkedIn? Many of the people in our district, in fact, some of the people probably here tonight, received some nice pay raises and promotions that are directly reflective of the work that they had done in Toastmasters. Well, what's key reason for joining Toastmasters? I think to have fun. We tried very much to make it fun. With every meeting notice that we went out, we said, we're going to be having fun, and we tried to. If you ever host an open house, especially once when we can get back to meeting in person, there are 3 words to keep in mind. They all start with the word F, and that is free, food, and of course, fun. Include those whenever you get the chance. We're all busy, and too many times we don't want to do something that looks like work. We want to contribute, we want to make a difference, and of course, we want to have fun. Now, I am not a funny person, but yet I appreciate an environment where people can be relaxed, they can enjoy each other, they can have a little levity. I think you'll find in business and in personal relationships that goes a long way. The second lesson that I learned in being a district officer was to dream big. We had not been a distinguished district for 4 years. We were a bit out of the groove, you might say. We didn't have this pipeline of people that we could readily tap. In fact, when we started our Toastmaster year, July 1st, we had over half of the district positions open. So we needed to recruit a lot. If you've read the book by Jim Collins called Good to Great, then you're familiar with the concept called the flywheel, which is this enormous disc. You might think of it as 30 feet across, 5,000 pounds, 2 feet wide. And your goal is to get that flywheel started. You put your shoulder up against it and you start pushing. It moves an inch. You keep pushing another inch, a couple more inches, more inches. It takes about 2 or 3 hours before you make the first complete revolution. That is a lot of work, but you keep going. It's got some momentum. You keep pushing a little bit harder. You hit the second turn, the third turn, the 5th turn, the 10th turn. It's going faster now. And of course, it's requiring less effort. You get the 25th turn, the 50th turn, and now it's going pretty seamlessly. That was our goal for the district, to have enough people in place that we could seamlessly, efficiently run the district and help everyone attain their goals. Now, I mentioned that recognition was one of our 3 goals. Does anyone quickly remember what the other 2 were? If you want to take yourself off mute and yell them out.
Or put them in the chat.
Or put them in the chat. Fun and growth were the other 2. Recognition. Yes, thank you, Kadisha. Appreciate that. So we're always looking to recognize people. We know that people want to learn, they want to grow, and in return, they want to be recognized. Now, we know that no one does it just for the recognition, but it sure is nice, isn't it? Whenever we held a district meeting, we would always start off, and our first piece of business was recognition. Sometimes we recognize people who were the first to do something. As an area director, you need to call on all of your clubs in the area. So we recognize the first person to complete all of their area visits. Other times we recognize people who had done a major accomplishment, such as starting a new club. We would put their name up on the screen. When appropriate, we would include it in the newsletter. We'd include it on the website. Recognition is key. people have worked hard and they deserve it. So we looked for opportunities to recognize people. We wanted to create what you might call this flock of songbirds. We wanted people to sing Toastmasters praises. We wanted people to say, I am so happy I'm a member of Toastmasters. I'm thrilled to be part of our district. It's an amazing district. I love helping out. If you can be involved, if you have the opportunity to do district leadership, by all means do. My last point that I would like to mention is to start early and plan for contingencies. We all know that things take longer, especially when you're doing them the first time. We had new people on that rungs of that ladder, so we had that learning curve to get up. Nobody wants to be under the gun. The nice thing with Toastmasters is our Toastmasters calendar hasn't changed, so you can plan in advance. When you ask someone early, as I was asked early, it's hard to say no, because I couldn't say, gee, in a month, I've got this and this going on. It was like, oh, a month from now. Well, sure, I can do that. That's what happens. So plan early, and of course, plan for contingencies. In our district, we had 9 division
Thank you.
officers.
Thank you. Thank you, Diane. I think we need some time for some questions.
Okay. And
Want to wrap up real quick and then give us some questions? Everyone can ask us some questions.
Great.
And Linda, are you going to moderate that?
I am moderating the chat and I have no
Okay.
questions yet.
Or comments?
I do have to gather a flock of songbirds. What a delightful and vivid phrase. I love it. That's from Jan Robinson.
Mm.
And
I have a question. I have a question, but I didn't put in the chat. So how did you handle difficulties when they arose, especially because you didn't have 2 people that would have been a resource for you?
Thank you for that question. The wonderful thing about Toastmasters is it's a national organization. So I had Toastmasters International on speed dial. I would call and ask questions. I am not afraid to ask questions. I would also ask my colleagues. There are, I believe, something like 114 districts worldwide. So I could call up the district director from another district and say, what did you do here? What's been your experience? What is your advice? So it's a wonderful resource, if you will, but raise your hand and tap into it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And so we have a few more comments. Rosalind Kahn says, love the passion and excitement. You are a warrior. Joe Dublinsky says, can we have your email at Diane Ployce? Kathleen Phil says, love all your beautiful metaphors. Makes us really feel what it's been like. And Carolyn Douglas says, I was enwrapped in the speech and gaining from her wisdom on the importance of and the use of recognition for the people that you're working with. And Rosanna Atrea says, I'm impressed that you stepped up with no mentor. I've been a shadow for other positions and that's been very helpful, but you never had that. I wonder if that made it harder.
Rosanna,
Rosanna.
I believe that could be perceived as being harder. However, I felt it also gave me some advantages in that people were very willing to help. They could tell that I was inexperienced in this role and I did not hide it, but I was willing to work and they were willing to pitch in with me. So I tried to use it to my advantage.
Okay, Joe Dombleski asks, how have you dealt with difficult members? How have you had to resolve conflict in your district?
We relied on Toastmasters International. We did have some conflict in our district, which is not unusual. It is unfortunate. The advantage here is that, again, we had a resource to help us. Toastmasters has a lot of official protocol. So we consulted with them on the protocol of what to do, when to do. They have time constraints. They have recommendations of things to present to the executive council, to present to all the members. And they pretty much have thought of any problem that could come up and they say, oh, well, district, you got this problem this time, we can help you. So that's what we did.
Great. Mohammed says it's such an exciting session for an open house. Mohammed also said, how do you maintain the maximum number of members at a club meeting?
Your clubs are determined by quality and contribution from the members. So I like having that most of your members have the cameras on, that you can form bonds. Surprisingly, in the club that I'm in, our meetings start on time, they end on time, and then we have what's called a happy hour after for the people that want to stay because we miss some of that connection. So we have extra time that people stay on for 15 minutes, sometimes longer, just to say, how are you doing? What's happening? How is everyone? What's happening at work, etc. So you can build some bonds. I do encourage everyone to raise their hand and speak and be involved as much as you can, because that's how you learn. The people who do that get the most out of it. The club that I'm in, similar to yours, is very diverse. We have members that came from many different countries. Many times English is their second language, and that's why they joined. And we so appreciate them and we learn from them.
Fantastic. And we have one last comment, which is Linda Berteau says, thank you for giving me a better sense of the organization of Toastmasters and how we all fit in. And with that, Diane, we thank you so very, very much for being our plenary speaker in our premier inaugural meeting.
You are very welcome. And one thing I learned, that even though I had this set to be in gallery view, I realized I could not see the timer's card until the very end. So I apologize. I will have to learn how to pin that or get it so I can see it higher. My apologies and all the best to you. If I can help in any way, please reach out and I will put my email in the address in the chat.
And Diane, we thank you for being on Linda's guidance committee to make the Speechcraft successful and the launching of this new club. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane. You've been an inspiration.
You're
And
question.
Diane, thank you.
now we're going to turn it over to Lola, who's going to give us a break.
Yes. Thank you, Diane, and thank you for your commitment to Toastmasters. We appreciate all you do. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a 5-minute break. And when we return, we will be going into our breakout rooms. Is that correct, Linda?
That's correct. The level 1 people, of which there are 5, will be moving off into a breakout room. The rest of us will continue with the meeting with our 3 speakers and evaluators. The wonderful people who are level 1s will be coming back in time to hear the evaluations.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, everyone. See you in 5.
And please, Rosanna will have the timing. So please keep it.
It's 6:41 now.
And when do you want us back?
And you will come back at 6:46.
Yes.
No. Back from the breakout room.
I will tell you.
Oh, okay.
I will send you a message when it's time to come back.
But what time so I can anticipate?
You can't anticipate. Hang on.
Right.
I
was going to look at the agenda. I was like,
you will be back at.
Let's see. Everybody speaks.
I'm sorry, I've got both. Ah, here we go. I believe 7:18
7:18.
approximately.
Reconvene. Yes.
Okay, 7:18. Okay, and bye,
Okay.
Rosalind. We'll see you next time.
Wait, we can't hear you, Rosalind.
You're on mute. She's
It was
leaving
a pleasure
us.
being with you guys all as you launched. I know you got a great group of people. It was an honor and privilege to hear you, and I look forward to coming back and seeing you guys again sometime.
Bye. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye, Diane. Good to see
Thank you, Diane.
Are you leaving too, Diane?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Are you leaving also?
Yes, my regular club meets in 15 minutes, so this seems like a natural time to take the break. I
Perfect.
put my email address in, so if anyone wants to contact me, I would love to hear from them. Again, if I can be a resource, please just let me know.
Great having you here.
Great. Thank you, Diane.
Bye. Okay, honey, you're gonna have to get up.
How can I?
Hedda, you're going to come with us in the breakout room. That's why we put L1 in front of your name.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And Kadisha, are you still there? Do you know what level Kadisha is in? Linda?
Hi there.
Hi, Kadisha.
Hi.
What level are you in? I forget.
I'm a level 2. I completed level 1 during the speechcraft.
Okay, great. Then you're going to stay in the main room.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Great.
Rasana, do you happen to be there?
I am here.
Hi, Rasana. I have a question for you. I'm to be timer for level 1 in a breakout session. And how can I share the files, the video, I mean, not the video, the visual files of red, yellow, and green?
Oh, at this point, you're just going to hold up anything red. You could a red teddy bear and a yellow.
I do have that, but if Rasana can tell me how to.
Not now. It's too late. Okay.
Well, we have a couple of minutes.
No, sorry, it's too late.
I can work with you after. I will email you the instructions. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If not now, after for the speechcraft.
I sent it to you.
It's in the same one as this afternoon.
There were no, there was a separate agenda for you.
I didn't get it. Sorry. If you can email that to me, then I can.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope everybody had a chance to vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, voting early. Okay, and we're ready when you are, Linda.
Okay, are you ready?
And
say
what's the
goodbye.
time to come back?
18.
7:18. Okay.
Oh, yes. There we go.
Great. Linda will be putting us in our breakout rooms.
You have to join though. Elle, you have to join. There we go. They are all gone.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Everybody's broken out
They
into the
are.
great. And I am just going to give a Zoom etiquette reminder. 1, to put yourself on mute if you are not speaking. If you're not speaking, don't forget to put yourself on mute. And just in case you didn't get a chance to put your phone on vibrate, so that when the speakers are speaking, in case you do accidentally unmute yourself, the speaker won't be thrown off or distracted. Okay? And with that said, we want to get right into it. I'm now going to introduce Jan for her commitment, and we will have her explain her speaker's objectives. Jan? Oh, we did that reverse.
Yeah, no, it's me.
I know. I just thought about it after. That's why I'm hitting my head like, it's you, Isaac. I'm sorry.
No problem. Okay. The first speaker is going to be Tony Thayer. His path is Visionary Communications, Level 3. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a communication plan. It's 5 to 7 minutes. The title, How I Grabbed the Attention of Leaders on My New Website. Tony Thayer.
Unmuting. Okay. Thank you, Isaac. And thank you to everybody here. I'm so glad to see you all tonight, and I'm so honored to share my story with you. I appreciate each of you for the effort you all make to improve yourselves and to become better speakers. I'm Tony Thayer. I'm launching a new business as a leadership mentor. My goal is to attract managers who want to be great leaders, who actively want to develop the presence that make a great leader. I guide them on a personal development journey so they can play a bigger role in their lives and reach for bigger dreams. Of course, attracting people to sign up for an in-depth personal development journey requires a way to catch their attention, to communicate, and to create a sense of excitement and possibility. My topic tonight is how I've developed a communication plan for writing and developing my new website. The timing of this talk tonight is really fortuitous because I just finished composing the first draft of my website this afternoon. I am so excited. Plus, because one of my goals in joining Toastmasters is to make new friends, I'd like to create an interactive experience for everybody here tonight with my talk and my website. Let me invite each of you to take a look at my website after tonight's meeting. And I would love to get your observations, thoughts, and suggestions about it as I prepare to do my final draft of the website. I'd love to know what you think works best, what you think needs more work, what you'd like to see more of. And unfortunately, I don't have it set up on my website to be able to do emails within the website, but I have posted my email and my phone number there so you can text or email. But if you appreciate the adventure I'm on, I'd love to have you start an offline feedback conversation with me. So if you'd like to bookmark the website, you can see it simply with just 10 characters before the .com. It's brainofbiz.com, B-I-Z. And I'm making a commitment to make this an entertaining journey for you guys. So may I tell you about this journey I started a few years ago to forge a powerful new vision of leadership? I call my company the brain of your business because my approach to leadership is based on neuroscience. What I'm going to share with you tonight is the planning process I developed to write about my big ideas in simple ways. And that was really hard. I faced two big challenges in doing that. The first was to take some very sophisticated ideas and break them down in ways that leaders can act and be with their teams that feel natural, so that these clients can adopt them in a clean, intuitive, and natural way. It's not about having binders on a bookshelf that they can refer to. But the next challenge was to write my web copy in a way that conveyed the excitement of what leadership can be without getting caught in the weeds of all the skills and knowledge that they'll learn in my 6-month-long Leadership Dojo program. Plus, as I went through the Toastmasters Visionary Communication Planning Training Manual for this talk, it pointed out that we need to communicate to a broader audience than the people we hope to sell our program to. When I first started to write web copy, I kept going off the rails. One day I'd be writing to the people I wanted to sign up for my program, but other days I seemed to be writing to someone else, maybe the executive team of a big company, or maybe people I might collaborate with and partner with. And I had to keep kind of like focusing myself. And it was hard. The Toastmaster training module, which I just read on Friday, really captures an idea that took me all this time to understand. To communicate a big idea in a big way, we need to recognize there are 3 or more audiences who want to track who we are and what we're up to. If I had a longer speech, I'd spend some more time on that. But what I really faced as my first challenge, taking a complex idea and making it simple, is what I'd like to share with you tonight. Now, in my 35-year career, I rose to vice president of sales and marketing. I turned a company around. I started a new division for another company. I have some experience with what leadership's all about. But it wasn't until I retired that I started geeking out on neuroscience. And I came to this realization that the way that most of us lead doesn't really excite the people who work for us. I found that the way that we mostly lead doesn't give people the experience, the types of experience that best activate their brains to their highest creative potential. It often discourages people rather than encourages them to give their best to their team and to their company. So once I came up with the working title of The Brain of Your Business, I realized I could keep my focus on the North Star, or the North Point of the compass point. But I didn't really want to create a program in neuroscience. I didn't want to make it dry and complicated. I wanted to create a natural way for a leader to be. So leaders could simply come from a place inside, a way of leading that's easy and effective and natural. I struggled to find a hook to convey that idea until I realized that one of my favorite quotes that I often turn to for inspiration from Maya Angelou was that people forget what you say. People will forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And once I had that, I realized that's really what leadership's all about. It's making people feel good. When people feel good, they're at their best and they are smarter. And really, that's the point of leadership, is to help people be their best. So again, I invite you to look at my brainofbiz.com website. I'd love to get connected with any of you who want to take the time and have the inclination. And I'd love to see some texts and feedback from you. So I turn it back to you, Madam Toastmaster, and thank you all.
Thank you, Tony, for such a great speech. And looking at some of the comments, if you could put your site in the chat, then people can write it down. We'll ask for a minute of silence for our evaluator. Okay, evaluator. We're ready to wrap up. And now I would like to introduce our second evaluator this evening, who I kept calling the first evaluator. Our second evaluator, Jan. Jan, could you tell us the speech objectives for our second speaker tonight?
Tonight, the second speaker will be presenting a talk entitled My Mother. This is presentation mastery level 3. The project is to inspire her audience. The purpose is to inspire through engaging content. Chakralicious founder Linda is an author, national speaker, award-winning holistic esthetician, Reiki master teacher, and beauty expert who specializes in bringing inner beauty to the surface through her healing makeovers.
Thank you, Jan. Had to unmute myself. Okay. I had just turned 13. My mother had arranged for me to go to dinner with her best friend. My dad called to let me know that he was coming over to pick me up. He said my mother wasn't feeling well, so she went to the hospital, and he was coming to get me so we could go visit her. When we got to the hospital, my dad and I were directed into a tiny room where there was a doctor and 2 nurses. The doctor sat in front of me. He looked at me and he said, "What your mother has done, even if a doctor had been there, we would not have been able to save her. Your mother is dead." I was shocked. I was horrified. I felt betrayed. I said, "How?" He said, "She shot herself in the head with a gun." A gun? How did she get a gun? I felt utter disbelief, betrayal, shock. How did this happen? See, my mother had been suffering from severe depression for a long time. And I had already found her attempting suicide twice in the past 6 months. As a 12-year-old, I had made it my job to keep her alive, and now I had failed. The doctor gave my dad 2 little red pills, and he said, "Give her these tonight so she can sleep." My last memory of that night was falling asleep crying in my pillow and then waking up the next morning. I was in so much pain and so much despair. I just didn't understand why she'd left me like that. And maybe it's because I was still young, but I started to feel my mother's energy. I felt her energy and she was still depressed. Sometimes her energy would fill me and it felt so deep and so dark. And I had a sense of what she felt, of what that depression was like, that was answering my why. And I know my mother thought that when she committed suicide, that she was getting rid of her pain. And in reality, she was only getting rid of her body. The pain remained with her. See, we're spiritual beings in a physical body. The body is temporary, but the spirit is eternal. We're here to evolve our spirit through life's trials and tribulations. You know, pain is a wake-up call. So I felt my mother's energy for about 8 years, and she was still depressed. And then all of a sudden, one day, she was gone. I just knew she was gone. I didn't feel her energy anymore, and I knew that she went somewhere else. So after years of suffering from bouts of depression myself, I sat on my couch one day to make that life or death decision. And do I follow my mother's path or do I choose another path? And a little voice whispered in my ear and said, "No, don't do it." It was the encouragement that I needed. And in that moment, I chose to live. I knew I had to heal from depression, and I was determined. I tried everything: talk therapy, group therapy, seminars, workshops, psychics, you name it. I did it all. Of course, I was in the San Francisco area, so I had all kinds of resources. But it wasn't until I learned about hands-on energy healing with Reiki and energy medicines that I was able to heal myself from depression. You see, I learned that I had to heal my spirit. And as I was healing myself, I started to get these uplifting and encouraging positive messages. This new energy was around me and it was helping me. It was kind of helping to move me along. And I discovered that it was my mother. My mother had gone away to heal herself. And even though she hadn't been around to help raise me as a child and a young adult, she came back energetically to help inspire me and lift me up from the other side. So she helped me to connect to my higher self. She helped me to meet my spirit council, to understand this whole energy thing that most of us don't even learn in a lifetime. And I learned that pain is our wake-up call, that there are ways to heal from depression. You heal your spirit and your life begins anew. So my mother introduced me to all of this, and my Reiki master teacher told me that the more manure you have in your life, the more fertilizer you have to grow a beautiful garden. So with all the pain I experienced, I was able to grow a beautiful garden. And I want people to know that if you're depressed, you can choose to live. If you're doubting yourself, you can choose to heal. There is life after depression. And the good news is, as you heal yourself, just know that you make the world a better place by being you. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Great job. We'll have 1 minute of silence for the evaluator, please. Okay, we've had a minute. We have a third speaker this evening. And to explain the objectives for our third speaker this evening
It's Michelle Tony.
it's Michelle Tony. There you go, Michelle. There you are. How you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing well, Madam Speaker.
Good. If you could give us the objectives for our next speaker, speech from Muhammad.
Okay, so Muhammad, I'm not going to say your last name because I don't want to mess it up, but Muhammad is our next speaker, and his path is Dynamic Leadership Level 4, and the project is Manage Change. The title of his speech is Toastmasters Changed My Life. The introduction is in Toastmasters, you get the same measure of benefits that you aspire and work out for. And since I had an inherent passion for radical improvement, my journey in Toastmasters for over half a year and has immensely rewarding. Go ahead, Muhammad.
Thank you for my brief introduction. Good evening to all fellow Toastmasters and distinguished Toastmasters. Are you looking for a change in your personal life? To join Toastmasters, change your life. This is about my project, about the change. The change will come by having some specific scenario where you can change. In my instance, what happened to me, my daughter joined as a YLP contestant, and she performed very well in the first instance, and she got a huge reward by best MOC, best evaluator, best speaker. And when they reached to the finale, and she was performing as a MOC, there in my mind and body it get changed. I surprised what happened. Someone will ask me a question or tell about the performance of your daughter or performance about the show which is happening. I was so afraid how I can express. It is only imaginary. In my mind is running. Then instantly I changed my mind to change myself. How I can change myself? So I'm searching a Toastmasters club. And I found a club. There they are giving the similar my daughter already has done. So I want to change myself. For changing myself, when in the first instance, there was a changing in the leadership of the Toastmasters Club. I was a new member. When I shown my specific goals, initial meeting, I want to be an effective communicator and to have a leadership skills. So at that time, the president, he was observed my statements and he has offered me as a vice president of that club. Slowly, my career has been changed and growth in the Toastmasters. So I became again the area council club growth director. Then after that, I got a district 20 as a quality coordinator. This is changing in my life. So in Toastmasters, I learn a lot. I don't know how I can change and how I can make a change plan. In the project, I came to know how I have to measure to make a change. In that change, I have a change worksheet to have a SMART goals. That is specific, measurable, attainable, timely bound. Then I make my plan to change to more enhance my communication and leadership skills. So I make a plan to have my goals. So I set my goals. I should be become a world champion speaker. That is why I joined this club. I want to become an effective communicator. I want to become a consultant. I want to become a business coach. This is how I set my plan for my goals. The goals also we have three terms, which is the, the level three goals. The short-term goals, the medium goals, and the long-term goals. The medium goals I plan for 1 to 2 years, and medium goals I plan for 2 to 5 years, and the long term 5 to 5 more than 5 years. So first 2 years, it's naturally I get the opportunity to speak in front of great leaders, great speakers, to enhance or get their feedback, to change myself for the speaking. And the midterm plan, I plan for to make or compete in the district level, or I will nominate myself to be in that channel. The long-term plan is for mine to have a personal growth, which I will become a coach for the businesses, those who get affected and how they have to overcome to run a successful business. This is how I am trying with this. So Toastmasters really changed my life. I was so shy guy. I was not able to speak in front of anyone. And I remember when I was giving a table topic, in 2 minutes, I was just looking like that, like this, like that. I was not focusing on the things which I need to be monitor, the speaker, the eye contact, the gestures, and engage with the audience. I believe you also face the same when you are a new. But there is a change in this one. There are natural speakers, there are non-natural speakers which are having a Toastmaster for them. So what I am trying to say here, if you have a plan, always you have to have a written plan. There is an author written in the book in the Harvard Business School. They have a studies, those who having written goals in the sheet or in the paper, they are successful. Those who have not written their goals, just they keep in their mind, they will not get much because it will become for them a dream, not the goal. So always to have a goal, you have to have a written goals and keep track how you want to achieve that one. So I will conclude my speech by saying you have to have always to have a short-term, medium, and long-term plan for your future to make a successful change. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Mohammed. We appreciated that. We appreciated your commitment to your speech. And we'll give 1 minute for the evaluator. And I know that we'll be joining everyone soon, but we do want to give a minute for the evaluator. Okay. Is this does it feel like a minute, or am I or am I just like lost in space? Like, okay, a minute. That's
That was
been
a minute.
Sounds good.
it's been a minute. All right. With that said, on my agenda, I have that I'm introducing our VPE,
He who is not here
who is not
is in the
here.
breakout room,
Okay.
as is our president. So
Oh,
they have 17 seconds to come back.
okay.
So we'll take a breather.
Right.
10.
Great speeches tonight, everyone. Really good speeches. Thank you. Thank you all. Linda almost made us cry.
Yes. And they're coming back now.
Yay!
All right.
Yay.
Hey, Sally.
Okay. So, Lola, you want to introduce Caitlin?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. We will now have a word from our VPE, Caitlin.
Hello,
Sorry.
everyone. And I just very quickly and efficiently, I want to invite everyone for speakers and all the rest of the roles for next week and the week after. Think about both weeks and both time periods, one beginning essentially at 12 noon Pacific time and one beginning at essentially 6 in the evening Pacific time. So there's room for 3 speakers and 2 backup speakers in both sessions. And then there's the general evaluator, there are the evaluators, there's timers, Toastmaster, all the roles that you see on the agenda. And so if you are because you are moved to step up and step in, please put in the chat what role you would like and what session.
What day?
Yeah, be it let's see, that would be November 9th or November 16th.
16th. Put it in the chat and also give us your email address, Kathleen.
Oh, yes. Right.
Do you want us to put it in a chat directly to you or to everybody? Does it matter?
Yes, I think it's good to stick it to me, and here, that doesn't sound right. You know what I mean. Oh dear, I had it all ready to
I know, but
paste,
because you went in the breakout room, it broke it up.
Yeah.
But you can put your email there in the chat and we can get in touch with you.
Okay, here we are. So it's KPL1. I'm going to make it in caps too. So everybody jump in and be delicious here.
And that's KPIL, PIHL 1, the number 1 at Gmail.
Oh, thank you. I didn't get that in there.
Right? Pill 1?
That's correct. Yes.
Oh, that's the correct one. The other one is not correct. Okay, it's KPIHL1 at gmail.com. If you want to speak or if you want to have another role. And speakers, you will need to provide your, what will they need to provide to you by Wednesday at noon?
Yay.
By this Wednesday
Michelle.
at noon.
Go, Michelle. Good for you. You're amazing, Michelle. So, I'm so glad, you guys. And please, all the support roles are just as fun, less challenging, maybe not quite as fun, but they're fun. So we need all those support roles. And so, yes, for instance, Tony and Ms. Tony and Mr. Tony, please send your path, your project, the title of your speech, and the introduction to your speech to me by this coming, let's see, wait a minute, that's for the 16th. So you have time, but sooner the better. And it should be the Wednesday before,
Friday.
yeah, before the event.
So for the 9th, you have to send it in this Wednesday, the 4th, and for the 16th by Wednesday, the 11th. Okay.
And I very much appreciate your stepping up. And let's have more stepper-uppers. We need all those roles filled to have a good.
And can you explain a little bit about the introduction? Because that's a new thing for us.
Okay, well, it's really simple. You're making a speech, so you have a title to your speech, and then you give an introduction, a setup for your speech. It's 2 to 3 sentences. Just a quickie.
Yeah. That's providing the speech doesn't speak for itself.
Well, no, you please provide a 1 to 3 sentence introduction for all of your speeches. If you don't have the introduction and the title and the project number by Wednesday the 9th, the Wednesday at noon Pacific, San Francisco time, we'll have to put a backup speaker in your place. Great.
And
that will keep things easy for the agenda.
And with this particular aspect taking as long as it did, we are out of time for table topics.
Oh.
Okay. Well, with that said,
so with that said, I will say, Kathleen, can I do table topics on the 16th?
Yes.
Yes, that would be great.
I'm committed to doing table topics on the 16th. Man, I had commitment all over my notes. Dang it.
Yes. Would you care to commit for the 16th or for the 9th?
The 16th, because I will be in the Bahamas. Now, if there's a storm and you don't hear from me, you know, I might be swimming in the Bahamas, but I'm going to be scuba diving, which is why I have mermaid hair.
On the 16th.
No, I'll be back by the 16th. I won't be there on the 9th.
Great.
Okay. In effort to keep things on time, and my last Toastmaster duty is to introduce our general evaluator, Jay.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, and I apologize for the lack of video here right now. I'm on my phone and limited bandwidth. I hope you all can hear me okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. We will now enter the evaluation portion of our meeting, where we will find out how we did during the speaking portion of the meeting. We will hear from 3 evaluators because we heard from 3 speakers. Our first evaluator is Jan, who will be evaluating Tony's speech. Please take it away,
Isaac.
Jan. Isaac, yes.
Isaac.
I knew that, and I screwed up anyway.
Yeah, Isaac, Jan, and Michelle.
See. Take it away, Isaac.
Okay, hi, thank you. Mr. Toastmaster, General Evaluator, and Toastmasters. Tony, excellent speech. You should be a DJ, man. Your voice is really clear. I could understand every word you said. You got A's on that point. The second thing, I thought that you once you started talking without looking at the notes, you really changed your demeanor, your vocal variety got a lot better, and it was smooth. So, you know, just talk like it's a conversation, because that really, really makes the speech a better speech. And I like the fact that you had a call to action at the end, and the quote by Angela Milo was excellent. What I would say that I really would like, and it's kind of hard when you're just looking at a little box, but just kind of look in the mirror in the camera every so often, because I noticed you were, maybe you were looking at another another computer or something, because it just seemed like you were kind of looking down a lot. So your eye contact was good, and just rehearse it a lot more, because I think the reason why you were reading is you just, you were trying to get certain things in, but this is a topic that you know about. So it's a thing of just talking and just really getting into it, because it's no doubt that you love what you're doing and you know a lot about it. So I thought that was great. The last thing I would say is this could be a great piece to get business, to really get people to want to go to your website and to learn how to be a leader. I think that the way you know the material would be easy and a good way to get other people involved, just by the fact that you really love the topic. So what I would say in closing, I loved your voice. You were very clear. And I think working this a little better, this could turn out to be a real good sales speech. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Isaac. And now we will hear from Jan. Jan will be evaluating Linda's speech. Please take it away, Jan.
Linda, I acknowledge your commitment to shining the light on death. This is a taboo topic that most people won't speak about, don't know how to, and don't know and haven't ever learned how to speak about it. And I see you as a spiritual warrior, a leader, a visionary leader in this regard. You excelled at the storytelling aspect in your talk, providing vivid details that invited the listener to be with you in those moments you were experiencing the drama unfolding. Your clarity of message was excellent. I liked that you said your main point at least twice, that pain is a wake-up call. I really was touched by this talk personally, because my mother died just in July, and something you might consider the main point in the inspiration that I took away, since this talk was about inspiration, was that you can have a difficult relationship with a parent while they're alive, and that relationship doesn't end with their death. It can transform and become, that person can become your guide, your personal guide. So that really stood out to me as very inspiring. In terms of what would make your talk even better is more vocal variety. That includes speed of speaking, includes volume and tone. So since you had storytelling, I was craving to hear like the voice of the doctor, and maybe you even use your body to indicate there's somebody else speaking and now there's you speaking.
Okay.
And
Oops.
Oh shoot. Sorry for the interruption. Interspersing gestures at places where that are like the turning point moment gestures can articulate those important points in the speech. Like, do I choose my mother's path or do I choose my own? So in conclusion, I really appreciate the wisdom that comes through, your natural authority. It's very impressive how the sensitivity to which you perceive. And with that, you open up possibilities for people in how they relate to their parents passing and to death itself. So thank you for that inspiring speech.
Thank you so much, Jan. That was great. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jan, for another great evaluation. We have one more evaluator to hear from, and that's going to be Michelle, who will be evaluating Mohammed's speech. Please take it away, Michelle.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So Mohammed, you should be in a commercial, man, on Toastmasters, because the way you told that story about how Toastmasters changed your life, it's a good example that some people need to hear, especially for those who need to be encouraged to learn how to speak, or at least improve in their speaking. Because that was one of the things that I wanted to do as a speaker is, I speak a lot and I teach, but I want to improve. I want to improve in my speaking so I can be a better person, and like you said, to change my life like it's changing your life. So again, I think you should be a spokesperson, talk to Cynthia, whoever it is, be a spokesperson and be on TV. So that's all I want to say. In regards to you using your daughter as an example, as an inspiration, I think that was a great way to vision on how you became a speaker, because that's basically what I saw when you were speaking. I saw that you saw your daughter was great at doing this, and you thought, hey, maybe I should be doing this too. So I thought that was great. As far as while you were doing your speech, great hand gestures, loved it. Great eye contact. It seemed like you were talking to me, although you were talking to other people too. But me being your evaluator, you were talking to me and let me know, hey, this is what Toastmasters has changed, and I believed it. Plus, you broke it down on what you think, how you could become a better speaker and how it can change your life with the 3 goals, having a short-term goal, a mid-term goal, and a long-term goal. And I totally agree with you on that. Matter of fact, I put my goals on my mirror to help me encourage myself to get to where I need to go. So great, I love that. And it is true that when you do write your goals, that it makes you successful. I've heard that if you don't write your goals, they're just dreams. So I agree with you on that, Mohammed. But in regards to any improvements, it seemed like you've done this before because you're on level 4. I didn't see anything personally. My thing is keep up with the good work. Again, you should talk to Linda or whomever, somebody, and just be a spokesperson for Toastmasters, because I believe you could be a really good speaker in trying to get other people into Toastmasters, because again, it will change your life. And I do agree with you on that. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Michelle. One more great evaluation. We had a team of great evaluators, but we have 2 more people to hear from, our behind the scenes or semi behind the scenes people, members who have been keeping track of certain things. Rosanna, you've been our timer, haven't you? Tell us how we did on time.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. We had 2 different speeches tonight. The first 3 were the 5 to 7 minute speeches, and I timed Tony Taylor at 7 minutes and 49 seconds. Linda Bertad was 6 minutes and 17 seconds, and Mohammad Vikaruddin was 7 minutes and 25 seconds. We also had the evaluations of the speakers, which are 2 to 3 minutes, and this is what I timed. Isaac Ford was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Jan Robinson was 3 minutes and 49 seconds. And Michelle Tony was 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosanna. And our final report is going to come from our grammarian, all counter, Wizard of Oz. Sally, how did we do?
Sally, you're on mute.
Okay, now we'll use with a voice. Rosanna, 6 Oz. Jay, a so. Diane, 1 Jan Robinson, 2 Oz. Tony, 1 word of the day, and 1 so. And Rosanna did use a word of the day. Michelle, Tony.
I also
one
used I also used the word of the day, commitment. I also used the word of the day, commitment.
Okay. Yes. Linda, no. Let's see. Ford, Isaac, 1 so. Caitlin, 2 Oz and 1 And Lola, 2 words of the day. 2 Oz and 1 and. Thank you. It was still wonderful.
Sally, I noticed that Jan actually did it twice because she came on and said it. So I wanted to get under that commitment thing and get a second one too.
I think we could all make a commitment to use the word of the day very often.
And I believe I did use it when I opened the session as well.
Yes,
well,
you did.
I'm committed to not being interfering.
Okay, back to our meeting. There's an it's not on the schedule, but usually general evaluator gets a little time to give an overall evaluation of the meeting, and I have 2.5 minutes left. So I will proceed with that. I have a few things to say. We always start with how did we do starting on time? We were a little late. As far as starting on time, taking care of a few technical difficulties. I really want to applaud us all for a well-run meeting. For our very first meeting, we've had a lot of practice with the speechcraft sessions, but hey, hats off for our very first meeting. Very good job. Round of applause, please.
Woohoo!
And I wanted to talk a little bit about the title of the speeches in introducing speeches that Toastmasters International has come up with a way of introducing speeches where you say the name of the speaker, the title of the speech, the title of the speech, and then the name of the speaker again. And the reason they do that, at least to say the name of the speaker again at the end, is because that's a clear point when the introduction is over and it's time for the speaker to take over. People know when to applause and the speaker knows when to come on. So I want to suggest that we adopt that in our speech introductions. There was something else I wanted to say too, but I cannot think of it right now. So I will just say, Lola, you said as your final duty as Toastmasters, you will introduce the general evaluator, but you're back on the schedule here and I have to introduce you again to take over the rest of the meeting. So take it away, Lola.
Thank you, Jay. I don't know where that came from, but I thought that I was done for the night, but obviously I am not.
Lola, you have just one more thing to do to introduce Cynthia, and the reason you're not there is because the program wouldn't let me put your name in that one.
Okay. Okay, see, thank you for that clarification. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, I'd like to return the lectern to our president, Cynthia Stott. Cynthia Stott, our president.
Thank you. Okay, and I would like to take this opportunity we don't have any guests, so we can't hear from them, but I'd like to hear from all of you, your takeaways from tonight, whether you were in the main room or the Speechcraft room. What are you taking away from tonight? What did you learn or experience? And Linda, Lola, can you help me if someone's raising their hand? I can't see them.
No one is waving their hand.
No one wants.
Yeah.
No one wants to say a takeaway that they learned?
Mohammed.
Mohammed, are you unmuted?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam President, for giving an opportunity or being a part of this club. I really enjoyed, and I speak my first speech outside the continent, and which I got the feedback from the evaluator. I really happy, and I want more feedback. I really enjoyed in the chat also. They send me a good message, which is really encourage me and become a world champion speaker. So I need your full support. If you can give me more feedback and more enhancement, so it will be really good. And thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful club. Thank you, and over to you, Ms. President.
Thank you, Mohammed. Woo-hoo. And do you want your virtual chocolates? We share virtual chocolates here. Would you like to get one? Ready, there you go. To choose your flavor. And there's no calories. Anyone else like to share?
Miss Kimmy.
I would love to share. This is my first time here on the Zoom. I've been to the meetings in person a couple times. And so I'm excited to be able to participate here. And it was so wonderful seeing everybody's smiling faces, and the flow worked really well. And it was great to hear the speakers, the evaluators, and just all of the logistics went very smoothly. And it made my evening. So thank you all.
Thank you. And here's your virtual chocolate.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I thought the whole flow was beautiful. Oops. I thought the flow, everything went through it. The timing was great. It was totally enjoyable. And of course, the topics were very spirited, and we hopefully can learn from them.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Ready for a chocolate?
Oh, yes.
Anyone else?
Curtis would like to say something, and then Carolyn. Curtis?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Linda and Madam President. I would have obviously met you two when I was assisting in the background with the Speechcraft, and I made a promise to join a few more clubs. So that I'm now officially a Joe member, and I'm fulfilling my commitment to participate more in Toastmasters. So thanks again for having me. I'm really enjoying it, and it's great to kind of virtually meet everyone so far. So looking forward to more meetings with you guys.
Great. And Curtis has been our plenary speaker coordinator for the Speechcraft, and he's filling in now. So we really appreciate him. You ready for your virtual chocolate? We love Curtis. Here's your virtual chocolate. Boom.
And then Carolyn Douglas had something she wanted to say.
Yes, I am really happy to be here for this first meeting. It's really wonderful. I really want to give a serious feedback. We're congratulating ourselves on a well-run meeting. We didn't do table topics, and I love table topics.
It was on the schedule.
I get it. I'm just making the note.
I appreciate it.
Point taken.
Okay.
You want your virtual chocolate?
Of course.
Of course. Here he comes. Here you go. And was there anybody else?
Linda Berteau.
Yes. Are you muted?
No, I unmuted myself. I just want to acknowledge and thank Jan Robinson for really her encouraging words and fabulous evaluation. I really, really appreciate that. And you added something that I didn't, well, I think about, but it's not in that presentation. So I appreciate that. And to Cynthia for so much of your encouragement and really getting me on the right path for getting this message out, because there's so many stories that I have to tell, and you're helping me to make them more concise and clear. And I really appreciate that. So to all of you, thank you. I'm working on these particular topics. So I appreciate your encouragement and your feedback.
Terrific.
Great. And here's your virtual chocolate. Okay. And then are we at announcements now?
You are on announcements, my dear.
Okay. So we are meeting every Monday except the last Monday, the 5th Monday of the month. So we're meeting the first and third Monday in the evening time, 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And check San Francisco time because the time just changed, and other countries might change differently. And in the afternoon on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday, we're from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific San Francisco time. We also have a lot of district things going on. November 14th, we have the Train the Trainer course, and that's open to everyone, including non-Toastmasters, if you want to learn more about being a workshop conductor. That's a great training, and you can sign up for that. We'll probably send you out a link to sign up for it. That would be good, huh, Linda? Maybe we can send them out a link.
Sure.
And then we're also meeting for the TLI for advanced people. When is that? I just saw the 21st of November.
Yes.
The 21st of November for the advanced officer training. And then Jay sent out an email asking for anybody that wants to be an officer of our club to send in their nomination for themselves or for someone else. We're going to be taking those nominations. We're taking them for all positions. We do have interim officers set, but you can apply for any position, and we would love to hear why you would want to be an officer for Leaders Worldwide. I think that's all of our announcements. Are there any questions or other announcements?
Actually, we do have an important thing to bring up, which is that in 1 week, we're going to have another meeting, and it would be really nice to have some people fill some roles. We have no roles filled. So that's speakers, it's evaluators, general evaluators, timer. These things are delicious and they're critical. Anybody want to participate next week? It's coming right up, hot and heavy.
So send that to Kathleen Pill, PIHL 1@gmail.com.
I
was praying for a commitment now.
Yes, because now is the time. I have your attention. Anybody want to step up with a little commitment? Yay,
And
Isaac.
And Isaac,
Okay,
yay!
yeah.
Yay!
Oh, Christine, you look like you're waving your hand. Christine, are you waving your hand?
Yeah, I'll commit to a speech.
Thank you, Isaac, for the
I'll do a speech
commitment.
too, Jay.
Jay will do a speech.
Okay.
And we already have a commitment for a speech from Rosalind.
Have we? Wonderful. Okay, marvelous.
And Jan, what role are you going to do?
Kaplan, I'll commit
Thank you.
to playing the role of timer.
Thank you, Jan.
Timer.
And
I
Carolyn
said,
Douglas.
I will be Toastmaster.
Woo!
Thank you.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you,
Wow.
Carolyn.
And how about you, Christina? It
Tell
did
me
look
what
like you
day
raised
I'm doing
your
that
hand.
now.
It's next Monday at noon.
Monday, okay.
At
Are
noon.
the Mondays at noon 1 hour or 2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours.
Same,
So
same.
11:30
Oh,
at
no, I
evening,
can't
and
do
then
Monday at 12. I can do the evening Mondays.
So you'd be the following week.
Yes.
You
2
know,
weeks
I
from
didn't realize
today.
that it's at 12, the next one.
Yes.
It's at 12 to
12
2.
Pacific.
So think about that and which day you can do it, and then send Kathleen an email
Okay.
to make sure you tell her what dates you can do. And evening is fine or afternoon is fine. Just let her know.
And
Okay.
Cynthia, we have Ishrath's Pathways training.
Oh, that's right. We have that's at this Friday, the 6th, at 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific, San Francisco time. And you got an email this afternoon about it, right?
No, I haven't gotten the words from Ishrath.
I thought I saw an email this afternoon. Okay, well, it'll be an email coming out tomorrow. And so it from Ishrath or Linda. Linda, you're going to be sending it out?
It's going to come from me, but I need the words from Ishrath.
Okay, and it'll be coming out. And this is introducing people to pathways, the brass tacks of it, how to get on, how to choose your path. It's really good training. And then that's going to be Friday, the 6th of November at 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific, San Francisco time. And the same thing next Thursday, the 12th at 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific.
No, 12 to 1.
Oh, that's right, 12 to 1. So the 12th, it's 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, San Francisco time, so that you have a choice of either one, or if you really need training in pathways, it's good to come to both.
So you will be getting an email, hopefully tomorrow. I'm just waiting for words from Ishrath as to what she wants to say to you all.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing this training every month till March. So you're going to understand pathways like nothing else.
Yes.
Okay.
And now I just want to check with you all. For next week, I have Jay as a speaker, Lola as a backup speaker, Isaac maybe.
You know what? Yeah, no, I'm going to go, if I can, the following, which is at
6 p.m.
6
in the
p.m.
evening.
Okay, you'll be I think you might be a backup speaker for the 16th.
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay. And then I also have, if I can read my writing, let's see.
Kathleen, I'm also for the Monday too. I'm sorry. I put that in the chat as the backup for the Monday.
A Monday at noon?
No, evening.
Evening.
Oh, okay. So you're back up for the 16th.
Yes.
And if you could all send her an email so she can be in contact with you.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can be specific about the date and time.
Yes, please. And Jan, your timer
in the afternoon one?
Jan?
Which
one?
one?
For the evening one.
Okay.
For the evening one in 2 weeks. Okay.
All right. And then Fatima, would you want to be the timer for the noontime one in Pacific time, the following on the 16th?
I can be this time. I don't know what time it's over there. It's Tuesday for us.
Evening.
This time now. Yeah, on the 16th. Okay,
right,
send an email so that Catherine can get you straightened out.
Okay.
And Kadisha, you raised your hand.
Yes, I sent Kathleen an email to be the timer at the next meeting on the 9th.
Great.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And Cynthia, do you want to close the meeting?
Carolyn, you are on the 8th during the...
No, she's on the 16th.
You're in the evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toastmaster.
Okay, send an email. Okay, great. Well, thank you all for joining us. This was our inaugural session. We had a little unexpected issues, and sorry we didn't have Toastmaster table topics. We'll try to have that next time. And we so appreciate you for being here and sharing your heartfelt message to a worldwide stage. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, did somebody take a picture? Bye.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm gonna get a picture.
Linda, the recording, is it available on our website?
It will be on YouTube.
Okay, so
will
can
be
I
on
have
YouTube.
the channel?
Everybody
Well,
smile.
it will be on YouTube by Wednesday.
Okay,
Yeah.
smile, everybody. There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. We'll
Bye.
talk to you